Howdy folks, this is Jared at Fluty Homestead, and today I thought I'd give you a little shot at what I've been doing today. Alrighty, we've been working on the cellar, finally. And as you see, I've got rafters on it. And if you've watched many of my videos, you know that I've talked about wanting to put a cannon room above it. But for now, it's just getting the roof. I want to get it under roof this year and be able to use it. And as the price of lumber and stuff, I'm not going to wait no longer. We'll get up here on the hill where you can see a little. I was going to get some rough cut stuff and everything, but I already had a lot of this, so I'm just going for it. The cellar itself, I bought some foundation waterproofing paint, and I've got 2 or 3 coats on it so far. You can see I dug out the back where the dirt had pushed against it over time. I dug it out good, painted it all, and now I'm going to be taking and I'm going to be putting I'm going to put plastic in all the way up to where the top of the paint is there, and then I will put a French drain in along the back and sides, and hopefully that'll resolve my water issues. I had water seeping in the back, and I found where it was coming out there on the hill, the biggest part of it, so I think I'll have it resolved. I just put a 612 pitch roof on it, and I stripped it with a rough cut oak that I had. I had another little shed that I had a horse-drawn wagon of mine under, and I took that shed down and made this. I went ahead and put a treated sill plate on it, and I went today and I've got the 2x4s to put rafters or ceiling joist, you might say, across the top, and plywood for a ceiling, and then I've got insulation for it, so it'll have a flat ceiling inside, and I'm going to put a door on the back of this just so I can have a little storage in it for now. Eventually I'll take this roof off. The rafters will be exactly the same as what I'll need for the building I want to build, so I'll just take them off someday, reuse it, and I'm going to build a building. This is 12 feet wide, and I'll build a building on here. I'm hoping 12 by 20 after I fill all this in and everything. But the cellar itself is 8 by 12, and I will have on this back wall, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 or 9 block deep in the ground on the back wall, and the side walls will taper from 8 down to 1. So I believe that'll be plenty deep enough in the ground. I know several of them that's about that deep, and they don't have any trouble. We'll go around here to this other side of it now. Okay, this is looking into the doorway, and on this back wall, that's a 12-foot wall, there'll be shelves on it all the way from top to bottom. And then on your left wall here, this is the corner I'm going to be setting up my pump from my spring, and I've got a pressure tank for here and a pump and everything, and I'm going to buy a filter, so that'll go in this corner. Over here, this wall here, I'm going to put shelves all the way around the top of the whole building. Then more on this right side, I'm going to fix a spot for potatoes and onions and stuff. So this should hold quite a bit of stuff for me. I know it probably will fill up quicker than what I imagined, but it'll be a lot better than trying to fit everything in my pantry. We're going to paint all the inside of it with the waterproofing paint, so that's going to be happening probably tomorrow. We wanted to get the outside all dried up. I've got the tin getting ready to put on the roof. That'll be the next thing. I want to get it waterproof, then we'll start on the inside, get her looking good, start getting some stuff in here. Okay, here's one more shot of the cellar. As you see, I got the tin on, got the waterproof paint put on the back, got plastic glued to the wall, and it goes down and it drapes down about a foot off of it. I've got drainage pipe around with gravel. And inside, I have painted the walls with the waterproof paint as well. This, we'll have to have 1 or 2 more coats of it. Now I know the whole cellar probably didn't need it, but I had a 5-gallon bucket, so we're just painting the whole thing with it. It'll brighten it up good in here. Also, I put 2x4s across the top, put 3/8 plywood on the ceiling, and I insulated the ceiling with R15 insulation. So the inside's getting close. You can see everything's nice and dry now. Was pretty wet in here, but we've got it cleaned out, dried up, and washed up. So it's coming right along. Still got to do, it'll look a lot better when I get another coat of paint. Get it all evened out. Man, it has been hot today. It's been about 96 degrees. And you can sure feel it. I've sweated more today than I have all year, I believe. I was watching them chickens down there carrying on and fighting. I'm going to take you down here and let you look at the garden a little bit. Got something in my eye. But the garden's coming along real well. I still haven't got a lot of stuff planted. I had a few things came up, but we still got plenty of time. So I'm going to turn this camera around and show you what we've got so far. Okay, as you step into the garden, Mr. Finn has 3 little pumpkin vines coming up. That's just a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin he picked out at Rural King. All the empty space behind this 2 tomato plants, that's going to be a row of beans, and there'll be a row of beans above the pumpkins here. I try to separate my beans because I grow a couple kinds I don't want to be together. Here we have, our candy onions. They're coming along really good. It's time for me to give them a good shot of fertilizer. And I tell you what, this black landscape fabric has been wonderful so far. You see that one weed? Bam, she's gone. You just walk through here, and if you see a little weed in the hole, you just pull him out. And that's all there is to it. I ain't had a hoe out all year since I planted the peas. Here we've got our tomatoes. I believe there's 30 tomato plants in this patch. And they are coming along really nice. They're beautiful plants. I have had not one bit of blight problem so far. I've got the concrete wire baskets here on them all. I've got a squash and zucchini right here. And we've got some more in Lakin's raised bed. I made sure to plant these where I can walk through between the cages, because when these things start growing good, they'll fill out. All right, down here is our cabbage patch. Cabbage is looking really nice so far. I think I got 16 of them in here. Thank the Lord, I have not had no bug trouble this year so far. I mean, that's a pretty plant. I've not put anything on it yet. I see one here that might have a few little tiny bug bites starting. Yep, there's 4 little tiny bug holes. This cabbage is stonehead cabbage. I normally grow Bravo, but when I got it, they just had this stonehead. Up here's one weed. That ain't bad. I have 3 weeds this evening. And I haven't weeded this since I planted the tomatoes. Here's the broccoli. It's about done. I've picked them 2 today, and we eat in a pasta salad. But them 2 there will be my next 2 to get. And then that one there hasn't made yet. And one lonely cabbage there. These last 2 cabbages, they're pretty plants, but they're not doing quite as good as the other ones. But this is more the poor end of the garden, I would say. Here we have our peas. These are a sugar snap. And they're about 3 foot tall. And I see 1 or 2 little blooms starting on them. I was a little late planting them. Normally I've already got them blooming and making peas, but here's a little bloom. So won't be too long, we'll have us some peas, and then when the peas are done, we'll be putting some kind of a bean in their place. I moved a beehive down here. There's a little place there, weeds coming up, but that ain't bad. Normally I'm having to weed eat all this bank, and I tell you what, I haven't done nothing. Nothing have I done. I would say sometimes I believe on this hillside is a little, of course it's going to be more of a challenge, but it has so far worked out pretty good. I've got another row I just ordered, and it actually came in the other day. I'm going to put a row between the garden and the fence right here. That way I don't have no weeds growing in here. I just ain't had time to do it yet. One more thing I'm going to try to do before these tomatoes get real big. Where I've got these rows of tomatoes in the cages here. You see they're kind of leaning where this is a hillside. I'm going to take and drive a metal T-post at the end of each row and maybe one in the middle. And I'm going to run a big, not a big one, but a rope through the top of these and use a ratchet strap and tighten down and hold pressure on these cages. That way when the tomato plants bush up and they get heavy, they don't knock them down in a big wind, because I had several fall last year. I'm pretty sure that is the way the Bayou gardener used to do his tomato cages. Well, we'll go up here and I'll show you the raised bed real quick. I'm trying to look for my cows. I haven't seen them in a while today, but it's been so hot. I figure they're in the woods, or they might be in the barn. Hard to say. The raised bed's done really good so far. Okay, here we've got the kale, and it is ready to eat. It's looking really, really nice. Right here, we made a couple holes, and I planted some broad leaf mustard, and it's coming up pretty well. Right here, Lakin has 3 cantaloupe plants, and I think she's wanting these to vine and to let them climb on this fence. Right here, we've had the butter crunch lettuce, and we've already picked some of it, and there's one more big one left. Of course, we've got our green onions. These are just eaten onions. Right here, we have a black-seeded Simpson lettuce, and this is the kind we grow to kill with bacon grease, of course. And right here is some sweet potato slips I started. These, my good buddies, the preacher's day off, and Fitz Preacher sent me this. I believe Fitz Preacher Farm sent me the sweet potatoes in the package, and Harold sent me a bunch of cool hot sauce and this spices and some nuts, and we've really enjoyed them. But these are a purple sweet potato, and I'm getting ready to transplant these. They're pretty big now. This one, it just started popping up here a little bit. It was a little later coming. I think there's 3 potatoes I planted in here. So we'll be transplanting these soon. My lettuce wasn't supposed to be down over here into the sweet potatoes, but some of it kind of migrated down. Must have been when it rained or something. Just a few weeds here. We have 2 tomatoes in here. Lakin has a zucchini and a squash. And I believe she's going to plant either a cucumber or a pepper in this one. Here we have a bunch of rogue beans that came up. And I believe these are a Roger Newsom fall bean I had in here. And I'm going to pull all these up and try to transplant them somewhere else so they don't die. Lakin has strawberries, and they are absolutely loaded. Lots and lots of strawberries. There's one starting to turn. Finley will see that and it'll be on. She's got some pretty marigolds in here. Right here is a Concord grapevine we planted. Going to try to train it to grow up this post and over the top. More strawberries. Going to have a good crop. Definitely got to get those beans moved. Looks bad like that. But the raised bed is looking good. Everything's starting to come on nicely. Old Vern had to get out today. So we're doing a little Fluty lick roundup. Come on, Vern. He's ornery, but he likes to get out. You can't go that way. Hold on. Go on, man. Go on, man. Get down there. Now we'll meet him down there. Give him some feed. He's ornery thing, but right. Hey, Vern. He got down there in my grandpa's barn and ate a bunch of the horse feed, so he may not be too hungry. Hey, Vern. We'll shake that a little bit so he knows it's there anyway. Hey, Vern. Well, I'm gonna have to go up here and get him. I'll be right back. Get down there. I'm gonna have to check my electric fence today. All right, ornery thing. He's getting big too. No. They don't never listen. Vern. I know you miss your old girl, but go that way, Vern. No, Vern. Nuh-uh. Go on, you're a smart boy. Get on over there, son. Yep. There we go. You ornery thing. All the time giving me trouble. Ain't you? He don't go far though. He goes to my grandpa's house. About as far as he goes. But that's too far for me. Well, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hope you have a very blessed day.